Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat that like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code Sandman to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life. But if you give him someone else's fish, he'll vote for you. That's what the leftoid politicians are all about, until they eventually destroy society and wealth, and then there's nothing left to give to the people. But that's the end goal, to make everyone poor and too busy trying to survive, that they don't have time to criticize their tyrannical governments. If you make a man sleep with the fishes, then you'll be a made man. Moving on is hookup culture part of the whole you will own nothing and be happy agenda. It's been like that for many decades because since no-fault divorce, she's not your girl, it's just your turn. Marriage is definitely part of the whole you will own nothing culture. Divorce culture also promotes the depopulation agenda because it becomes too dangerous for men to reproduce without risking having their lives ruined. The way to defeat this is to own love robots and have authority over your own kids that you have through surrogacy. That's how we beat World Economic Forum agendas. Number 3, Malik says that young women need to completely ignore men and practice their arts, sports, and whatever else they like because men will be there later on when the time comes. This is horrible advice, unless you're trying to make more lonely single cat ladies. This advice only works for men who can procreate later on as our value goes up. For women, on the other hand, this is advice on how to start a box wine and cat hobby. This is also an example of one woman trying to sabotage all other women. Up next, in socialism, you line up for the bread. But in capitalism, the bread lines up for you. That is, until Kamala Harris fixes all the prices and outlaws capitalism. Capitalism has surplus while socialism has scarcity. But both are technically slavery. Capitalism is wage slavery while socialism is plain old vanilla flavored slavery. I'm sure that Americans are going to love it when Kamala hangs a joy sign above the bread lines. That will make everything better. But I have to give credit to the socialists. At least the bread they're waiting for is fresh and not trying to kill them like the stuff at the bottom of this picture. Number 5, Disney cancels The Acolyte. Are you telling me that Disney failed even though their premise was to have lesbian space witches? How do you mess that up? Hopefully they keep the woke agenda going and they put that money into She-Hulk Season 2. I have an idea for a Star Wars project, please hear me out. We need to call it Wookiee Goldberg, and she goes around ripping the arms out of sockets of Trump supporters. It'll be a hit. Moving on, 23andMe told a brother and sister that they weren't biologically related, so they started sleeping with one another. After a few months, their mother finds out and says that they actually are related, so they check the 23andMe results again, and the company says they made a mistake. The guy now lives with his father and is forbidden to have any contact with his sister. He still says he wants to keep smashing her and is wondering if he can sue 23andMe. Number 7, here are the latest projections with Harris winning in a landslide, taking Texas, Alabama, and Florida. If we end up seeing results like this, it could actually mean a civil war. People are tired of the inflation and the wokeness isn't funny anymore. Where did we see this before? Oh, that's right. When Hillary was running against Trump, she was projected to sweep. I can't wait to see the tears at the Harris campaign headquarters again, like the women crying for Hillary. Up next, what's wrong with Indian men? They raped this female doctor in a hospital and ended her. And now other Indian guys are looking for the footage of the encounter on spicy content pages. Maybe they're getting impatient to get laid because, after all, Trudeau can only let 1 million of them in each year into Canada. Then again, maybe white dudes would go bananas too if they had to deal with Indian women. Number 9, looks like The Office is getting a female remake. This is going to be Ghostbusters 2016 all over again. This is going to fail horribly because women aren't funny. Women are also way too predictable and are going to call everyone racist and sexist and complain after it gets cancelled after only one season. Then again, I did actually get a laugh out of this because This is the woman that's going to replace Michael Scott's. Moving on, here's the new Mary Poppins remake. The sad thing is, I don't know if this sort of thing is real or not anymore. In this version, does she end the kids and steal the silverware? I'm sure that the chimney sweeps will also all be white men in blackface. Looks like she's going to need a much bigger umbrella to help carry her diabetes feet through that sky. I can fly, bitches, and Mary be poppin'. Number 11 is Mark Cuban, and he says he won't vote for anyone that doesn't believe climate change is real. Yet he has a private jet collection. People are so sick and tired of this that they don't have enough money to pay for food thanks to inflation. It's inequality in rubbing things in people's faces this much that causes people to go crazy, and if it continues and gets worse, will lead to revolution. The elites want you to think that your gas stove is the problem. Can't they just slum it in first class? Up next, this gay multi-ethnic chicken farming family is part of Minnesota's emerging polyamorous community. They say it's going mainstream. Sure it is. Is this the remake of 3 Men and a Baby? Except with 3 gay men and a duck. You know that poor duck will be walking funny for the rest of its life. I'd be suspicious of the stuffing they put in their birds. I know it's a gosling, but duck rhymes better with fuck. Number 13, this 16-year-old mother of 2 who first got pregnant at the age of 13 is raising her kids as a high school student. This was somewhat of a normal thing while I was growing up in high school, except those girls weren't having little Tyrones. Back in the day, high school single mothers were common. Today they're seen as freaks of nature. Looks like burning coal has consequences after all. I feel sorry for her parents. Moving on, this woman says that being a liberal is all fun and games until you need a friend with a truck. The moral of the story is that if you're a liberal, don't buy a truck because everyone will want a piece of you when they're moving and they need help. That's what many liberals have to do when it's moving day, and they don't have a friend with that truck. One time I even saw a liberal trying to tow a boat with a Prius. Number 15 looks like Bella Ramsey will be Tiana for the live-action Princess and Frog film. Why are they casting Little Miss Potato Head for the role? But you just know that that frog is going to turn into a princess after the kiss, instead of a prince. Either that or one look at her and the frogs will be going their own way. It looks like they can no longer cast beautiful people in films anymore. For once, though, it's a race swap the other way. Up next, remember guys, that anytime a man's having fun somewhere, there's a woman pissed off about it. Why do you think that women are destroying gaming companies and classic male franchises? If it were up to women, they would ban all male hobbies, so we would have to give all of our male attention to them. That's one of the reasons they've been going crazy the last decade, because men are no longer interacting with them. Men have hobbies, women's hobby is men. They just don't want you to know about it. Number 17, this guy turned down his high school crush because she's now a single mom and rejected him when he was unattractive. Now her friends are calling her and insisting that he give her a chance. Too late. He already gave her a chance. Guys, make sure you're not the cleanup man. I'm sure she's also probably going to tell him that height in men no longer matters either. Tell her friends to suck a dime. Moving on, someone says that she saved herself from wokeness, so there's hope. Being woke is a luxury belief, and at some point, it'll no longer be cool, and they will move on to being trad wives and girlfriends. Suddenly, you'll see so many of them posting their makeovers and trying to get some rich simp to bankroll their future families. Remember guys, they aren't saved when they start looking traditional. They've still been run through. Don't let women get away with this. Number 19, Ali says that women don't dislike video games because they're geeky, but because they're antisocial and it's a hobby where you don't actually do anything. But for those of us old enough, we remember when women were against guys fishing, hunting, and playing golf. All things where you actually do something. So they are lying, and a guy says the same thing I've been saying for quite some time now. That women dislike video games because they take men's attention away from women, which is something that's finite. Up next, Lee says that Kamala is the first presidential candidate to become a nominee without receiving a single vote, or without having a press conference or live interview. It's like she's pretending it's COVID again. Sounds to me like she was selected instead of elected. We appear to be headed for one-party rule in the United Socialist States of America. It might not be this election, but it's likely to happen the election after this one. Number 21, this woman ended her son in the most gruesome way, disposing of him in a dog food bag. Imagine what would have happened if a man had done this. Let me guess, this is classified as a longer-term abortion due to postpartum depression, and this person was given probation. Ladies, I think it's time to give the keys to our society back to the males. but she'll probably argue that patriarchy made her do it. Moving on, this woman is wondering why she wants to sleep with an arrogant guy that she absolutely despises. She says he's mildly attractive and they're better looking guys, but there's something so irresistible to him. This is why a lot of men don't understand women, because even some women don't understand each other. But it's easy to understand. Women are attracted to men with dark triad traits. Men like serial killers are their kryptonites. Number 23, this YouTuber pushed people to take jabs for years, and now she's passed away from myocarditis. I'm sure it's nothing but a coinkydink. A coincidence like all the other cancer cases I've been hearing about recently, and it looks like it's becoming a pattern. Was she just a useful idiot pushing an agenda and has now died forgotten? Up next, California pushes through a bill that allows illegals to buy houses with zero down. If they have no skin in the game, then they'll run when things get bad enough. Not to mention that the locals have to compete with them, so the prices will go up even higher and be even more unaffordable. And they say that the great replacement is just a theory. And the worse California does, the more impoverished people will vote for Democrats, entrenching their power further. Number 25 and the last one, here's the difference between women then and women now. Hoflation is when men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers for women that are 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were. But I think the image on the left is men's imaginary vision of women that never existed. Men have always been simps. One day we'll create robotic women like the one on the left, and we'll let real women go extinct while they're clutching their cats. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so the new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.